I believe that t-shirts are a silent strength. And I believe that t-shirts are secret powers, and you can actually wear them and say a whole lot.
T-shirts are art. This is saying something, right? Every t-shirt, everything someone wears, puts on their body is a piece of art. Someone designed it, drew it, created it. So it's a piece of art. So I'm walking with a piece of art on my chest. I'm sending a message.
Welcome to another episode of T-Shirt Tales.
Hi, my name is Alvin Ciceron, and I'm here to talk about this shirt.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
The shirt was designed by my friend, Phil Thomas. We actually went to high school together. We were in the same art program, and we went to different colleges, different art colleges. He went to SVA, School of Visual Arts, and I went to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, but we always stayed in contact. He continued working on his art, and eventually, with the past few years, he transformed his art into t-shirts, and he created a t-shirt business by the name of Brooklyn Barn, and most of his artwork is incorporated into his t-shirts. But this one particularly showing Black man as king, and that's his focus. He shows Black females and Black men in his artworks as kings and queens. And instead of keeping them on canvas, he decided to show them out into the world through t-shirts. This to me, as a Black man, similar to how Black Panther encouraged a lot of young men to see them as superheroes, this encourages me to see myself as a king. It's definitely safe to say that when a person views the t-shirt, they can see themselves in it. I, myself, in Brooklyn born in Coney Island Hospital, actually. So you almost can't get more Brooklyn than that. And I do see myself as one of the many Black kings in Brooklyn. I hold my head up high and not low. And this shirt helps me to remind me to do that.
Hey, this is Laylia Ferguson, and this you're about to hear right now is my t-shirt tale. The shirt I was wearing said, "Believe in a Black girl," and I got it from this Harlem-based nonprofit that basically gives Black girls going off to college for the first time a college shower. So they get them all the things that they need to start as a freshman in college, to just celebrate this big occasion, this momentous occasion. So that's what the shirt was about, believe in a Black girl and support them as well. I wasn't going off to college because I graduated years ago. Actually just finished my master's. However, I met up with a friend and she was connected to that nonprofit organization. So she invited me to the event, and they were buy a shirt and it goes to support buying items for the girls. So I bought the shirt, and that was my donation supporting this organization. The last thing I want to add about this topic is I typically don't wear shirts with logos or letters. But this was something special and different. It had a specific cause that I really liked and enjoyed. A lot of people, they wear shirts that, for me, it means nothing. This, I felt good to wear it. Me wearing that shirt was reflective of my thoughts as a person, as an individual, and where I want to go, how I want people to see me as being proud of myself, and I hope they see that in other Black girls, and these Black girls going off to college as well.
My name is Irabena Hutchful, a.k.a. Abena, a.k.a. Rabs. I'm here to talk about my t-shirt collection, namely my t-shirt that I wore last week, Well-Read Black Girl. It represents and is from the Well-Read Black Girl book club, which was started by Glory Edim in, I think, 2015, Brooklyn-based. It's a book club that celebrates Black literature, specifically Black female voices in literature. And there are a lot of really good book recommendations that have come through that. That's what I use to look for the next good read. I've discovered a lot of really good authors through that, like Zinzi Clemens, Tayari Jones, who are authors that are pretty well known and pretty popular now, but I learned a lot about them from being part of that book club. They've grown in just like membership and participation, and now they have a festival that invites a lot of Black authors or authors of color to share their works, and like people read and share their love of Black literature, and it's good. I love it. I think specifically like female authors of color are so underrepresented and like marginalized in the publishing industry. So it's great to have a space where we can celebrate their works and like amplify their voices. And I also think it shows like the initiative of the community responding to what we identify as a need. Like we want to see more representation of ourselves. So I respect the growth of that book club into the, just the movement it's become, because it's started by Black women who recognized that they wanted to see more of themselves represented in the stories they were reading, and create a space for Black authors to share and promote their own works.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Vanne McMillian, and my t-shirt tale is Black Girl Magic. The reason I started Black Girl Magic was because of where I'm from. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. I moved to New York from Atlanta, Georgia almost 3 years ago. Coming out of Kansas City is extremely racist and prejudiced. So being a Black woman there, I literally had 3 options. Either I was going to be in jail, working in a call center for the rest of my life, or dead. And with that, I just knew I wanted more, and I just felt like we were so invisible as human beings, especially just being a Black woman. My main message was just to get across that you have to see me. These letters on a t-shirt or from the neon colors of my hats and sweatshirts, you can't miss me now. And if I'm wearing this is what I'm saying I really believe, and I believe I'm that magical. You can't deny me. You're gonna put some respect with a K on my name. I started Black Girl Magic in Atlanta in 2016. I literally launched my first t-shirt the day after Beyonce was the headliner for the Super Bowl. And it was perfect. It was like on time because she had the whole Black Panther theme that year for the Super Bowl. And the next day I announced that I was releasing this t-shirt that said Black Girl Magic. I went to the University of Missouri Columbia for fashion, business, and design. I didn't kind of really like going there, so I basically left and started going to the community college for fashion design back at home. And I had got to a crossroads where my brand at the time, which was called Milkshake, was picking up so much wave in the Midwest that I was on fashion shows in Chicago, all up and through Missouri, going down to Atlanta. So I had to pick. Either I'm going to take this little wave I have right now, or I'm going to finish school. And of course, my mom was not happy about it, but I picked my wave, which helped lead me down to Atlanta. And when I got to Atlanta, I was 24, turning 25. No one would take my designs for submission for editorial or anything, because in Atlanta, the way they wanted to, their protocol was it had to come through a stylist. And I knew nothing about styling. And so I just started lying and started saying I was a stylist. I was like, I got cool enough style. We'll figure this out, but I need my clothes to be in one of these magazines. It needs to be in somebody's conversation. And in the same mix, there was a designer, a Black male designer. His name is Michael Knight, and he was on Project Runway. He had made it to the top all the way to New York Fashion Week, and he was a designer out of Atlanta, and I just thought he was the best thing ever happening. And so I made it my mission to find Michael, like almost borderline stalking. And by the grace of God, I got to be his apprentice and his assistant for 5 years. And he died October 17th, and I found out I was pregnant October 22nd. So fast forward, still with my Black Girl Magic, my son's name is Knight. And I bring all that up to say Michael literally taught me everything from designing to styling, because I had no experience with styling. He used to style Jagged Edge. He would make their clothes. Sherry Shepherd was one of his main clients. Everybody had a dress, a beautiful gown or something by Michael. He was just amazing. And he literally started teaching me, okay, if you're gonna do this, you show up to set looking like you already own a $1 billion line, and you style like this, and you pin like this, and you come with your hangers like this. He was spoon feeding me for life. Originally, I just started the brand, everything was black and white. The original t-shirt started with, it was a black t-shirt with black lettering, and basically I did that on purpose so you would have to kind of get in her, like get close enough to her to see what the message said. And it was interesting when I started with those colors because I would get emails from a lot of women that, especially if they wore their apparel in the airport, the reaction they would get from other races about the message. I've even been approached with other races asking me, how can I wear this and feel comfortable? It starts a hellified conversation, which is kind of the point. I said to myself, okay, if it started that much conversation with black on black, then I came out with a white t-shirt with black lettering. I did some sorority colored t-shirts. What's gonna happen when I make this even louder? And so far, it's bigger and the conversation's more, and the sweatshirts I came out with are black with the same color neon stitching on the front, and I just put it as big as I could on the back of it. And I've had, the people who have ordered them already are like, I literally had people shouting at me from down the street like, girl, I see your Black Girl Magic, because you just can't miss me now. In my mind, I'm like, okay, it's getting the conversation going. How can I make it more in somebody's face and just be more apparent? Because at this point, you don't have it. I'm not giving you the option to say, well, no, I didn't see you, or da-da-da, or I don't understand what it is. You see it.
The significance of this shirt is it reads black male. I am a black male. The shirt is black with black lettering on the shirt. But as you can see, or in certain lights, the letters and the words disappear, and it speaks to the invisibility of the black male. We're here and you see it, but you don't quite see it. You don't quite see us. It was part of an exhibit at the Whitney Museum, the old Whitney Museum up on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And it dealt with the black male experience through all of American history, through slavery to modern day, the influence of music, hip hop, Prince, James Brown, sports figures, sports legends, politicians. And I think the contribution that artists such as Michael Jackson and his sort of feminization, some may say, and then you look at Quincy Jones, or you look at a James Brown, who was, one of his major songs was Black and Proud. And something about James Brown was his record label wanted him to say, I'm black, but I'm proud, and he refused. He wanted the line to say, I'm black and I'm proud. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it was those sort of representations that were also quite interesting. And being able to stand in that space, standing on those shoulders, where I stand now, and seeing what everyone has done before me to get to a place where I can feel really proud and be really proud of who I am and where I come from, which is not slavery. I come from someplace far beyond that, before slavery ever happened. So I think it's just I thought it was a very interesting exhibit. I think it's an interesting t-shirt. And then when we look at modern times today, still how black men are treated, disrespected. When do we ever hear about black males really in society unless they're committing a crime for the most part? It's very rare that there is a museum quality exhibit exploring black men and the representations in contemporary society. We're not typically celebrated. I would say the part of the exhibit that touched me the most was the security guards, seeing security guards. And I go to a lot of museums, so seeing security guards who typically are undervalued. I mean, we walk into exhibits, we walk right past the security guards, we walk up to the artwork. They're there, but they're not there. But then here they are guarding multi-million dollars pieces of work. I think that juxtaposition was really quite interesting. I think that was really quite profound, actually. And also think about this. They're wearing a security uniform, but how much do they really get paid to guard these pieces of work, this artwork in this museum? So I thought that was quite interesting.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
No, honestly, I feel great wearing it. I think, honestly, when I'm wearing it in the day, I mean, I have a lot of lights on me now. People cannot read it. People don't see, they think I'm wearing just a black t-shirt. And then they can sort of see something, and then they get close and they realize what they're reading, and then it dawns on them, oh, black male. Now, if I wear a Brooks Brothers suit, or if I'm going to work at the television station and I'm in a white shirt and tie, it's an entirely different interaction that I have with people. All this can come off. All of this comes off, and my skin is what it is. I mean, what are we? It's all a costume at the end of the day, right? It's a costume. It's clothing, but it's something that I have chosen to put on to represent me as I move through the streets of Brooklyn. It's somewhat of armor. It's somewhat of a costume, but more of armor, I would say. So to answer your question, how do I feel? I feel good. I feel good and proud to be who I am. T-shirts are art. This is saying something, right? Every t-shirt, everything someone wears, puts on their body is a piece of art. Someone designed it, drew it, created it. So it's a piece of art. So I'm walking with a piece of art on my chest. I'm sending a message. And I mean, these letters are black and bold, in a bold font, which means you're coming through. I'm coming through. Unapologetic.